What's up, Everyday Blades? It's been a long time since we did a sharpening video, so here we go. We have the Max Ace Meerkat that I used a ton over the weekend, and I cut up a really gnarly canopy, an old canopy that was over a deal out by our pool. Anyway, it was really large, and there was a bunch of hard crap in it and plastic. Anyway, I kind of rolled the edge or dulled the edge a little bit, so I'm going to put my edge on it. First, I'm going to point out a couple of things. First, I have the Wicked Edge Pro. It's a fantastic machine. A couple of problems I have now that it's older. There's a toggle right here to tighten up the clamp, how tight you want to go. This tightens the clamp down. This switch over here tells you, right here, tells you how tight you want to tighten it. Right there, it's on all the way positive. Well, even on all the way positive, the knife wants to move around a little bit. It wants to fall down. So I put pins in here where this pin normally goes to hold the elevation. I put permanent pins in there because you can't sharpen it with this pin in there. That's just to get it set. So I put permanent pins in there. I need a new clamp. I'm going to have to just break down and order one. But for right now, I do that. And then I have these pieces of cardboard from Wicked Edge that go on each side of the knife that give it a better grip so it doesn't scratch my knife. So first thing we do is we're going to tape up our knife to protect it. Put a piece of tape there. And we're going to roll over to this side and tape it just like that. And then one more piece of tape, a little longer piece of tape, we're going to put right here along the titanium all the way around, right where the finger choil, where the sharpening choil is. And then we're going to tuck all that stuff down in there. Sorry, I'm trying to keep all of it in frame so you guys can see, but I have a lot of stuff to stuff up underneath here. So you see I have my sharpening choil exposed. Now when I run my stones up here, the sharpening tool is not very big, so you could easily bump your stones into that titanium, and that plastic, even the plastic over a certain amount of time will scratch, put light scratches in your titanium. So then we're going to open up our deal here. We're going to clamp it down. Well, we need to add little pieces of cardboard. One here, and then one on the other side. Okay, now that should be, now that works pretty good. It's kept me from purchasing a new tower, which I need to do anyway. Maybe Wicked Edge would warranty it. I mean, this system is like that I bought was like $1,100 with just a couple of stones. It doesn't come with many stones at all. I have pretty much all the diamond stones they make, but that's a whole separate couple of $1,000s on its own. So we're going to start off with 100-200 grit. We're going to start off with the 100 side. So what I do, first we need to check our angle of attack. Use a digital gauge, turn it on, and then zero it out. So we're at 0. On this knife, we want to do I could do like a 17.5. Now we need to check this side. So I'll have to do a fine adjustment over here to get my 5. Oh no, there it is. Alright, we're zeroed in. 17.5 is our angle. And the difficult part is getting your stone all the way up here where it'll grab on where the sharpening choil is. Down here it's easy to do. And you don't want to push in because you'll round your tip off. So as you get to the edge, you want to let pressure off. And just it's going to roll off, but you just got to be careful because you'll round your tips. Then everybody will make fun of you online forever about it. But this is the way I do it too. I don't sit there and just stroke them evenly. I'll work one side of it. This just works best for me. It's a lot more even and precise if you do it one stroke at a time. I just don't care to do it that way. And this also, doing it this way is easier on the tip, I believe. Because you're not rolling off the end of that tip. And this 100 really moves the metal. But we're reprofiling, so we need that. If you're just touching it up, you'll only need, you could probably start off at 600. So these work really well at removing a good amount of stone, good amount of material. But the main thing is you want to try to stay the same amount of strokes. And then when I get somewhere where I think I'm close, you don't want to get it all the way down till you get a burr with these. I'll do this here. 10 or 20 times. Okay. I'll take one of these. I'm sure all of you have 10 of these microfiber cloths that come with the knives. Does a really good job at getting all those metal flakes off. When you go from one stone to the next, you don't want those larger flakes in there. So again, I'll start off with the alternating. This is a thicker blade, a little thicker behind the edge, so it's going to take a little more doing than a lot of blades. Like the Benchmade arrows, you can sharpen that thing up in a couple of minutes. This has got a little meat behind the edge. These stones do very well. When they start to get worn down, you can know it because it takes a lot longer to get where you want to be. When I originally got my system, I only had like 3 stones, and I used that with the Wicked Edge Go forever. And you know, I did what I needed it to do. This goes way above and beyond. That way I can put a nice mirror polish most of the time when I do my knives. So I don't put a mirror polish on every knife. This S90V here has got some bite to it. I mean, it's not just eating up like some softer steels do. It's pretty hard steel. It's going to take a little while to sharpen, but it sharpens decent. It's not bad. I'm going to go back to our uniform, back and forth, just to try to make sure our bevel's even. And I'm not saying this is the absolute perfect way to do this or the very best way. This is just the way that I do it, and I get good results. The way they want you to do it is do it like this the whole time, alternating it, but I get better results the way I do it. Especially when you get down to the finer grits. Now we're going to be jumping down in stones to a finer grit. I've seen that thing move. You gotta watch it. That knife starts moving on you, you're done. So these are, I believe, 400, 600. The good thing is with having those fixed pins at the bottom, the knife can't sink on you. It can only move forward or backwards. It can tilt up or tilt down, but it can't drop on you. Before I had those fixed pins, it would drop on me sometimes. You go through a whole sharpening and you didn't even sharpen the knife because the bevel moved. You don't have to move but a little bit and it'll mess up your entire sharpening. That's one of the negatives too. This thing is very difficult to get right up there next to the handle scales because that plastic is preventing you from doing that. I wish they would make that thinner or make it, I don't know, make it out of something else and just put a coating on it. But it's just too thick. You can't get right all the way to the sharpening tool because the sharpening tool is too small. I may have to make the sharpening tool a little bigger. I've had to do that before too on knives, but sharpening tools are not exactly the best looking things on a knife, so you don't really want to do that. You do not have to be an expert at sharpening to do this. This system is what's smart. Buying the system is the smart. You're just a laborer. But you still have to know how to use this stuff correctly because you can waste a lot of time and a lot of money. You want to make sure after about this grit right here that you're forming a burr on each side. Because if you're not, when you get down in the smaller grits, you're going to be eating your stones up trying to get it sharp. You want to get it when you have these larger diamonds on here to eat that metal off of there. I can tell by feeling it that we're good. We're forming a burr. 'When your stones are brand new, they work phenomenal. And then they get down to about 50%. And these are probably at about 50% because I sharpen a lot of knives. This is my second full set that I purchased of stones. And be careful when you're doing this because you can easily slip off. I have slipped off and ripped my thumb open before. Especially when you get down to the finer grits and you have a really sharp edge on there. Alright, now we're going to flip over to the 600, and this is where a lot of people sharpen their knives to, 600. Most factory edges that I know of are 600. We're going to see what it looks like. We may stop at 600. .600 grit on one steel is not 600 grit on another because the hardness of it. Some 600 grits will polish a steel, polish one steel and leave lines in another one. Seen a lot of videos on it, but they don't tell you how many times it's going to take to do this because there's no way they can know. It depends on the steel. It depends on how worn your diamond stones are. And the Wicked Edge comes with, or doesn't come with, they offer some really nice stropping tape that you'll see at the end when we go to put the mirror polish on there. I have blanks that have tape on them and they have diamonds in them. It's real fine, like 3 microns. And you can really get a beautiful mirror edge with those pretty fast. They take off a lot of material and they leave a really nice shine behind. Alright, we're done with these. Actually, no, we're not. We gotta do the 400 side, right? Yeah. No, the 4. Okay, that was a 600. We'll get it there. So the next stones are 800, 1000. The numbers are worn off of them, but I know that the lighter color is the 800. When you get down to these, for some reason you can really feel them bite, those smaller diamonds. They bite into that steel. And this is all I used to have was 1000 is where I stopped. And I put a mirror polish on there and it put a nice mirror polish, but now I go 2 more. I think I go up to 2600 grit in my stones. And it's kind of misleading to call them stones because they're not really stones. They're plates with diamonds glued on them. But I tried the ceramic plates. I forget what kind of ceramic they are, but they don't do anything to these super steels. They don't hardly take any metal off of them. These diamonds, they really remove material. They turn this stuff into dust pretty quick. And it's a whole lot easier than hand sharpening, I can promise you that. I've done that, and that's just not for me. I don't have the time or the patience to do that. I mean, that takes a long time to properly hand sharpen. Alright, 800 grit right now. And now we're going to do 1000. And we're probably going to go to the stropping tapes after this. 1000's enough. It gets it shiny enough for what I'm going to do here. I don't care to have like a super high polish on this. This is a $150 knife. I don't need it. It's not a show knife. It's Max Ace Meerkat's a nice knife with high-end blade steel. But it's not a show-off knife. It doesn't need it. I kind of believe that sometimes you put too much of a mirror polish on these blades. They don't cut as well. And they don't last as long. And tape loves to stick to that mirror polish. Let's go. Let's do some stropping. And I just put fresh strop tape on my stropping deals last week. So these are brand new. You can use these on like 15 to 20 knives easily. As long as you keep them cleaned off. They work really well. And you see these don't make any noise. They're super small diamonds. And it don't take a whole lot. But the more you do it, the higher the shine. And these are like 6 micron I'm using right now. And then when I flip them over, we'll go to 3 micron. I can already see the mirror polish on there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's already shining. The only bad thing about these strops, for like a paper of these, with them lined up all the way down the paper, you might get 6 sets. It's like $75. this sharpening stuff gets expensive. People think, oh man, how you charge so much to sharpen knives? Well, if you use these systems and you use all the right stuff you're supposed to use, it gets expensive really quick. Those stones are like $120 a set. And if you sharpen knives pretty regular, you burn them up pretty regular. So if you're sharpening knives for people for money, you know, $15 isn't going to cover. That's not even going to cover your cost. Even though I've done a lot of them for $15, but you live and learn. But you just can't do that. You won't make any money. You won't even break even. You'll go backwards. Alright. We are significantly polished. And you don't have to, but what I like to do is hit it with the strops. Just a little bit. Just to make sure we don't have no little burr sticking up there. Usually when you use those stropping tapes, there's no burr. It gets too fine to have a burr. But this just makes sure that you don't. Go to the finer one. I have diamond paste on these, diamond liquid on these strops. These are kangaroo leather strops. That's it. She's sharpened. Let's check her out. Put this to the side. No, that's sharp. It just ripped off, sliced off a piece of my nail. Tiny bit off the end. No big deal, but I know it's sharp. Let's see. What's that right there? It's like there's something on the blade. That's weird. There's some kind of inclusion. Let's see what we got. Well, let's clean it first. Because there'll be all kinds of crap on that blade from sharpening. Make it snag on the stuff. I don't know if you can see it or not, but we got us a pretty shiny blade there. Alright, let's see. Ooh, like butter. Hear that? Man. She's sharp, boys. The system just does a great job. It's a lot of money, and it's a lot of money to upkeep, but I've tried several systems, and it's the best I've found. Now, you can get the Wicked Edge Go, and it does just as good a job as that. It'll get it just that sharp if you buy the stones to go with it. Buy the full set of stones. You don't have to have them right off the bat. And that Wicked Edge Go, I bought mine brand new. It was like $250. I think they're $300 now. That's a steal for that system because it works just like this one does. It just doesn't have the tower and the automatic adjusting arms and all that stuff you don't have to have, especially when you're starting out. So look for the Wicked Edge Go. It's a great system. Man, that thing is screaming sharp now. Now I'm going to go wash it with Dawn dishwashing soap and rinse it out and then blow it out with a blow dryer and then oil it up and she's good to go. Guys, thanks for watching. God bless you and your family. Say a prayer for our country. Good night.